Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to find out what the 223 can do to a block wall at 300 yards. So we got a cinder block wall set up, and behind that we have a 1/2 inch thick plywood board to see what kind of damage or penetration we get if one of these 223s happens to penetrate through a block. So the 223 is actually a pretty small bullet in terms of projectile weight and diameter. It's only 22 caliber, just like a 22 long rifle, but it's moving so fast it has a lot more power than a 22. So here's a quick look at a ballistic chart of the 55 grain FMJ. At the muzzle we have about 3240 feet per second for 1281 foot-pounds of energy. And all the way out to 300 yards we still have 2228 feet per second for 606 foot-pounds of energy. So that's about how much velocity and energy we'll have at its range using these 55 grain FMJs. And we'll be using the Federal 55 grain FMJ. Alright, let's see what some 55 grain FMJs can do to a block wall at 300 yards. Just seeing if I could hit the gong real quick. Let's go for the gong again. Alright, back to the block wall now. Alright, I think we hit it enough times. Let's go check out the damage. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of hits. I was trying to place a bunch right here on this side. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on this side. And over here it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right here. Maybe 6, because that's kind of a weird hole. I kind of think 2 entered right there. And then we got more over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe another one right there, I don't know, because that's a really big entrance. So altogether we got at least 18 hits on the blocks, but our board is completely unscathed. We had absolutely no penetration completely through the blocks. Although this one over here, or both of them, are cracked in the back from the impacts. And if we look inside the blocks, the 223s blew a huge chunk out of the inside. And here's the block that was cracked. We got multiple hits all in there. Looks like we only got a little bit of damage on the other side. Just a tiny chip out of the concrete. Even over here on this block that we hit multiple times, looks like just tiny little chips in the concrete. Maybe a 1/4 inch at the deepest, that one right there. And these other ones not even. Whole bunch of concrete dust at the bottom. There's probably some bullets buried in there also. So yeah, those 55 grain FMJs just weren't hitting the second wall with much force. They went straight through the first layer, or blew a huge chunk out of the side, but just put tiny little chips on the second layer of concrete. Probably just from bullet fragments. And here's a jacket fragment laying on the ground. Might have been from the one that clipped the side of the block. The lead core is completely emptied, and there's just a small copper fragment. And there's another one right there. Looks like there's concrete inside it. It's just the base of the copper jacket. And another jacket fragment, all just laying right here about a foot to the right of the block. So overall, the 55 grain FMJ just will not go through a block wall at 300 yards. I'm sure if we hit the same block enough times, we'll be able to just break it into pieces and then just shoot through where the block once was. And that's kind of what I was trying to do over here. That's why I hit this same spot so many times. But apparently it's going to take a lot more rounds than that. So what do you guys say? I think we should try that again. Let's see if we can bust through one of those blocks if we hit it enough times. Okay, I think we hit the same block quite a few times now. I think I'm going to try and spread a few more out this time. Okay, let's go for the same block again. Oh, it's down. We got rid of a block. Alright, I think we're good now. We got rid of at least one block. Let's go check out the results now. And here's the results from our second attempt. We actually destroyed that block there, which knocked this one off the top. This is the one that was on the top right here. Looks like we only hit it a couple times. 1, 2, and maybe a couple down here. And that's where those two went through. And on the back side, like we already saw, they just put these little chips. Maybe 1/4 of an inch deep at the most. So not much damage to the back wall from an individual shot. But if we hit the same block enough times, it'll just completely destroy the block. I'm not quite sure how many it took to do that. I'll have to watch the footage and see. But we pretty much blew this block clean in half. Looks like we got a hit right here on the side, which also blew this chunk off the other one. And you can kind of see some gray lead splatter in there. And there's just a whole bunch of chunks of concrete down there, and there's a bullet jacket, or a piece of a bullet jacket. And we also got a few hits on these bottom blocks. This one hit right in the center where there's that reinforcement. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but that bullet's lodged in there. I can see a jacket down there. Got a hit on the side. And the ones that went through, again, just put little chips in the back. And it looks like we hit this block a whole bunch of times. But only damage in there is little chips on the back once again. We must have hit we must have hit right here a couple times. And we also hit this block a few times. This is kind of weird right here. Definitely nailed that block a few times, and up here. And of course there's just little chips in the back. Here's the back side of our blocks. Right here where we actually busted the block apart, there's a bit of damage behind here. First of all, you just notice a whole bunch of concrete splatter. It dented the wood all over the place with just chunks of flying concrete debris. And right here you can see chunks of bullet jacket lodged in the wood. And that's even a piece of concrete, I think. Or lead. No, that's lead. So chunks of lead and copper jacket embedded in the wood and dents from the concrete all over. And then we got another jacket and lead splatter over here, which must have been from this one that hit in the center. Lead splatter, more jacket lodged in the wood, and a couple fragment holes. And on the back side we have 2 exits from both of those 2 holes. The one right here where we broke the block apart, and the one over here where it skimmed through the side of the block. So that was an awesome test. I had a lot of fun doing that. I can't wait to watch the footage. We definitely learned that a 55 grain FMJ will not go through a block at 300 yards. But if you hit the block enough times, you'll destroy it, which then you can just shoot right through. The 2 hits that we did have on the board obviously went through concrete first because it's fragments that went through. But anyways, that's all for this video. If you guys liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if there's any other kind of tests you want to see, just make sure to let me know. And also check out my Facebook page. I post short little shooting clips to my Facebook that you guys might enjoy. So check that out if you can. And as always, thanks for watching.